This is BB Online, an exclusive presentation of SportsTalkFlorida.com. I am David Bauman, joined by Eric Lopez, typically our producer. Our producer in this segment is Jacob Hellwig, who's running the video cameras. Elo, one of the main topics on the program this morning, and we hit a milestone, by the way, on the David Bauman Show this week. We had 100 live comments come through the program, and one of the polarizing topics was the Occupy ESPN movement that some UCF fans are starting. Mind you, we have not heard many USF fans get in on this conversation. We heard from one, and we'll get to that comment in just a little bit. But one UCF fan in particular, Stiggs at Night Bengal, who's one of our avid listeners, wrote it into the program about this Occupy ESPN movement. He is pissed off, fit to be tied, that ESPN is getting rid of the AAC blog on the ESPN website. Now, what does this have to do about, Elo? Is it a matter of the AAC, the American Athletic Conference, does not matter to ESPN anymore in terms of football?
It's what they're telling you is you're not one of the big five. You're not the ACC. You're not the Big Ten. You're not the Big 12. So who are you? You're nobody. That's the message that's been sent. And listen, I understand people are upset about it. I don't necessarily agree. I'm always for content for everybody. I'm all for the little guy. But at the bottom line is you can't complain if you're the same people they're saying, I want to get out of here. I want to go to the Big 12. And then you can't come back and say, well, wait a minute. You're not showing us any respect. You're not even showing respect to yourself.
Anthony writes in at UCF Biggie at David Bauman 33. I'm confused. Wouldn't ESPN want an AAC blog since we are one of the teams they support? This is the media package with ESPN and the AAC, and they're not even going to put a blog up about it?
They carry the MPF, which is a pro fastball softball pitch. Do you want a blog for that too? That's the way it goes.
All right.
They carry tennis, by the way. They carry the Grand Slam. Do you want an entire section? They have Wimbledon, but you don't see it dominate the websites as often. I mean, look, it is what it is. I mean, they also carry MAC football. Carry the Sun Belt. You want a MAC page?
No, that's true. On that subject of what you're saying, you got to kind of earn it. At Mr. Brian Gill wrote into the show, as a former UCF student, it's very disappointing. But let's face it, can you blame ESPN? I don't believe in the everyone gets a trophy mindset. You want coverage, in all caps, earn it.
To me, the fans should be focused is simple. It's on the field. And if your teams win, you're going to get coverage. Look at Boise State. You know how Boise State got coverage? It wasn't because they were in the Mountain West Conference and they got a blog. They got coverage because they won football games when it mattered.
A lot of football games.
A lot of football games. That's how you get your coverage, and then maybe you'll get a blog.
I know, Elo, you've been harping on the idea that fans should be more concerned about the bowl package moving forward. And on that topic, Carno 3 writes into the show at David Bauman 33. Fans can't change the bowl package, but they can impact a blog.
I disagree. I don't think they can control a blog. I mean, people are going to do whatever they want. You can complain all you want. Networks don't change their mind. I mean, people have complained about ESPN content for a long time, and they don't change. Look at their television stuff. The bottom line is fans should just be consumed with what the conference does on the field. That takes care of itself. And to me, my biggest concern is you look at that bowl package, you're not going to play a Power 5 conference in a bowl game. That's very bad news. You're not going to be able to compete for a championship in football anyway. That's, to me, is a bigger concern than some blog, whether it exists or not.
Hector writes into the show, here is a USF fan at USF 96. We want something for nothing, and then when something gets taken away, we pretend we gave more than nothing. Bloggers never showed. We care, but many others don't. ESPN responded as they should have. ESPN wants to differentiate between the P5 and the not. We're the not.
It's not just them, it's the sport. That's where college football is headed with this playoff. It's if your Power 5 conferences are playing each other in bowl games, that's where the sport is. It's dividing, and ESPN is just following suit.
Could this just be a matter of circumstance in the time being? Andrea Adelson moves on to cover the ACC.
Congrats to her, friend of the show. Yeah, yep. Congrats to her. It could be, look, they could revisit this down the road before the season. They may bring in a blogger in. They may do it for basketball. We don't know. But listen, it's not the end of the world. To me, I'd be more concerned if you were omitted from a conference page like a certain school at UCF, which you brought up. That's a little bit more of a concern.
As the UConn Huskies completely
How
left
does that happen?
UCF off of it. Brandon Helwig of UCFsports.com got a message board response. Chuck Sullivan, the director of communications at The American, rebutted about the blog, and he says it was discontinued based on, quote-unquote, performance and resource choices. So that is...
What does that mean in English? You're the Syracuse degree there. That's a high over my head.
Performance and resource that's a matter of semantics to say you guys don't matter.
Pretty much. That's the nice way of putting it. Look, it stings. Would I like the blog? Sure.
And Elo's a UCF grad.
But I go to UCFsports.com. I go to sportstalkflorida.com for UCF's content anyway. At the end of the day, just put it on the field. I would trade a win over Penn State in the regular season over a blog. Thank you very much.
All right. For Eric Lopez, I'm David Bauman. We do the DB Online Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the David Bauman Show is every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m.